Hello guys, it's your boy KAPE Pauser. I'm back with another video, and today I'm just going to be discussing the links with Arsenal with Huijsen, the centre back. I hope I pronounced it right, from Bournemouth, and also my decision between Jorginho or Thomas Partey. Who do we keep? Who do we sell or let go for next season? If you're new, you're returning, you have already hit that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 1,000 subs. Smash the like button down below. Comment down below all your thoughts of anything I say in this video. And yeah, let's just get to it. So over the last week or so, there's been a lot of news aggregators, David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, coming out with transfer links and news around players linked to Arsenal in terms of renewals of contracts of players, in terms of in the likes of Lewis Skelly, Wanyeri, Saka, for example. We've seen all positive news about their deals almost coming to an end, and obviously we have a conundrum between Partey and Jorginho coming up this summer as they both are out of contract. So let me just share this tweet from a news aggregator called Doc on X. He kind of shares out all of the Arsenal news that comes out, and yeah, let's just discuss on what he said. So yeah, as you guys can see on the screen, so I'll start with the first line. I'll ignore what's not about the topic matter for today, but I will discuss other things. So the first point says Jorginho is set to leave as a free agent, something that we already knew. He's out of contract this season. We know that he's been speaking to, I think it's Flamengo from Brazil. They've really been pushing to sign him. But it says here that Jorginho to leave as a free agent from both of them, but it's still possible that he signs a 1-year rolling deal, meaning obviously he signs a 1-year deal with a potential to extend it and continue going on and on. Obviously, we know that Jorginho's been doing his coaching badges. And you can tell that that guy's going to be a coach. He's probably settled down in London. He's lived here for probably over 8 years now. Obviously, covering his time at Chelsea and Arsenal. And the job's not done yet. Arsenal ain't won a title, ain't won the trophies. I'm pretty sure Jorginho himself still wants to win that Prem. So who knows? But obviously, I don't think Arsenal can keep both of these players. They're both running out of contract. They're both playing the same position. They're both of a similar age. So it's a difficult one. I'll ignore the second line on Zubamendi. I will have a video on Zubamendi coming out. So another report came out. I think it was on the day of the Palace game from David Ornstein that Partey wants a 2-year deal or 1+1 year deal on improved terms. Arsenal, because it was Arsenal are optimistic or willing to want to sign him to a deal. I think it was been reported all season that obviously Arsenal have had any contract talks, any contract offers to Partey. Obviously his contract is over in the summer, so it was always under the assumption that he probably will be going to see out his contract. But then when you think about it, obviously that's 2 senior players that we're losing from our team. Obviously we have a young team, we have to always remember that. That's also 2 DMs, which is probably one of the most important positions in our team and our system, from 2 players that have probably mastered that position in the system and obviously in general in their playing time in their career. So whoever we're bringing in, and obviously I believe we need a midfield shuffle. Sorry for my waffling. We need a midfield shuffle this summer. Doesn't mean we complete overhaul. I think we need to kind of be smart in terms of what profiles we bring, the ages of them, their capabilities, and also consider allowing ourselves to do business in future windows. So, for example, I know Arsenal will probably only want to offer Partey or Jorginho 1 year max, maybe a year, 1 year plus one type stuff. But especially with Partey, I think he's on about 200k plus. He's one of Arsenal's highest wage earners so far. But I think he's 31 now, and he's only going to probably be declining athleticism. He's had a great season this year. I will say he's been one of the best midfielders in the Prem, and definitely been Arsenal's most consistent midfielder. Definitely Declan Rice has kind of stepped up in the last couple of weeks, but Partey's definitely been our best midfielder this season. But we've seen this story before. He's had one great season, then you have an injury-riddled season, and then you've seen the story before in the likes of Liverpool when they had Fabinho, City Fernandinho, City now with their midfield. Sometimes it can just be one summer. The age just hits you, your body just slows down, and then all of a sudden the pace of the Prem is a bit too fast for you, and such things. And then you start to get a bit more exposed, and then there's a hole. I don't want Arsenal basically to give Partey high wages, even if it was on a 2-year deal, and then God forbid, but gets a mad injury or something, or he just declines in athleticism, and then now is a struggle to move an aging player on high wages. Yes, albeit they only have maybe 1 or 2 years on their deal, but that also limits Arsenal, because let's just assume we let one of them go. Let's just say we let Jorginho go, we sign Partey to a deal, we give him higher wages, he gets injured next season. That means I assume we probably will bring in Zubimendi. The links and the news coming around seems like that deal, at least Arsenal will try and move to make sure that that gets done. So cool, we have you would have Zubimendi and Rice to play in the six, but those are probably arguably two of your starters. So then you're having to play a Lewis Kelly in there, which I don't mind, but it's a risk. Like, I want Arsenal to be a bit more prepared for things. So even if they get Partey a contract, I don't mind, but give him on wages that are reduced, or give him some bonus incentive type contract to where, like, if he reaches a certain amount of performances, scores a certain amount of goals, assists, etc., clean sheets, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Averages a certain amount of passes in the game, complete passes. Yeah, I don't know. It could be random. So out of those two, I love that's good, because Partey is composed. He's a boss six. I've said it. They're both boss sixes. Partey is very composed. He has that, that black arrogance in terms of knowing his strength and his abilities. He's very good at reverse disguise pass, and just, ball retention is crazy. Kind of press resistant. Jorginho is a orchestrator and conductor in that sixth position. Knows how to control a tempo, increase it, slow it down, play in behind passes. His passes and through balls are very, very accurate. Obviously, yes, his defensive side isn't the best. We've always known this, and his athleticism is not known for this, which is why, if we're talking about decreasing athleticism, I would rather keep a Jorginho over Partey, because he already isn't known for athleticism. So it will be like, and he's not going to be playing a starting dominant role. So it's like, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, Partey's been playing almost every game this season, been quality this season. He's in a rhythm. There's been reports that he's changed up certain things about how he takes off his body, his lifestyle, so that's contributing to why he's staying fit. But who knows? Because at the end of the day, it's a difficult situation, both because you don't want to lose this, as I said, the leadership, the seniority, the experience within the system, but you also don't want to limit yourself to doing business elsewhere for certain available players. Like, I've always been a fan of Carlos Baleba, Zubimendi, those type of players. Baleba just gives me instant Partey replacement, and Zubimendi gives me instant Jorginho replacement. I would love the both of them, but then what does that mean for Rice's position long term? Such like things. So you guys comment down below. Would you choose out of Jorginho or Partey? And whoever you choose, what kind of deal would you want them to be on? What wages you want to do? Because we have to remember, we still have the likes of Saka, Saliba, Odegaard, Gabriel to give new contracts to. Ranieri and Lewis Kelly renewed contracts. Max Downham's first pro contract, so he's not going to be in that much break, but you know what I mean. And other players in and around the team. Timber's had a great season this year. I don't know how it's contract. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the situation. Moving on in this doc from Doc. Go follow him on X though. He shares everything. His quality. So Arsenal have interest remains strong for Huijsen, willing to trigger his release clause. Is an open race because there's many teams involved, and there's no decision fully made from Arsenal here. And I'll just read the second line. Kivior's departure may be a bit less likely now after his recent form. So if you take a look at everything, sorry for my bad. If you take a look at all of these situations with Huijsen, I think it's a smart signing. Most Arsenal fans' first reaction would be, but why we signed another centre back? We did it last season, Calafiori. We did it the year before with Timber. We're always signing centre backs. But if you look at Arsenal's team, the only fit centre backs, or more consistently fit centre backs this season have been defenders have been Timber, Saliba, and Gabriel up until his hamstring injury. Obviously, Zinchenko has been in and out. Calafiori's been in and out. Ben White was injured for most of the season. Tomiyasu, we haven't seen him at all. And Kivior, my bad, Kivior. My apologies, Kivior. My bad. My apologies, Jakob. Do you know what I mean? So that's only 4 defenders. One mad injury to Saliba or Gabriel, and then all of a sudden you have to play an alternate player in there with a level drop. You have to think about these situations, and end of the day, £50 million for a player that's played in the Premier League for one season, but at a high level, one of Bournemouth's best players. Obviously, they were pushing for Europe up until their form recently, where they kind of pushed out of all of that. But he's a quality player. He's made his debut for Spain. He's a quality player. 20 years old, £50 million release clause. Apparently, they don't mind it being played in 3-year installments, so that's even cheap. We only probably pay about $15 million this summer, and you save yourself. Like, what does that mean? I mentioned the Kivior news because you would probably have to sell a centre back, but I don't see Tomiyasu, whether he stays or goes, he's not going to be relying. And whenever he kind of returns back to fitness, I think he will be let go. Zinchenko's time will come to an end. He's going. Lewis Kelly's future lies more in the midfield. And you think about Ben White and Calafiori. Calafiori's had 4 different injuries this season. Ben White has had his knee surgery and has been in and out of the team, in and out of squads since then, which is probably expected. But then, is that reliable to go into a season where you only have 3 fit centre backs. I still think it's a smart investment, and I also don't think it stops us from spending the money in the necessary areas or priority areas that I've said this summer, which is the midfield and the attack. Comment down below what's you guys' thoughts on Huijsen. Do you like the player? Do you think Arsenal should move for this kind of player? Also comment down below your thoughts on Jorginho versus Partey. Who would you choose? Who do you want us to keep? It's been your boy KAPE. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Speak soon.